This one automation grew my audience by over 30,000 followers and took my email list from 1,000 subscribers to over 4,000. And I didn't set up a single funnel to do it. If you're using ManyChat, you know that setting it up every single time is so painful. New trigger word, new DM copy, new link, duplicating the template. I was doing this multiple times a week and I hated it. So I got Claude Code to do it for me, fully automated. I type / command now, give it a trigger word and a link, and it logs into ManyChat, duplicates my template, writes the DM copy, swaps out everything and activate it. While I'm off filming more content or honestly doing literally anything else. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I build it step by step, how to install the Playwright MCP in Claude Code, how to set up the skill in Claude Code, and how to get your agent building your ManyChat funnels on autopilot. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so this is my ManyChat skill, which uses Playwright to recreate my ManyChat funnels for me so that I don't manually have to do it. And it's just triggered by / command. And so once I've decided on a new lead magnet, I just get it to run, and I'll show you that soon. So it uses Playwright, and then you can see here it just duplicates the lead magnet template in ManyChat, swapped in the new copy and keyword and the link, and activates it, fully automated via Playwright. And this is how the template flow works. So there's a trigger, a comment reply, opening DM, link DM, follow-up DM. And so if we just have a look at that in here, this is what this looks like. This is just how all of my triggers are set up. And so Playwright MCP just comes in and updates this. And so jumping back into Claude Code, you can see here it just steps out the workflow. So step 1 is it gathers the information. And so it knows to ask for anything that's not provided. And here I've got for my podcast different things. So for podcasts, I want it to include Spotify and Apple links. And so it knows when I say this is a podcast to refer to here. And then it generates copy for the DMs that I'm sending. So they're a little bit different each time. And then it goes through and just basically walks itself through the browser automation. So here's how it logs in, navigates the flows, duplicates the template, etc., etc. And within this skill, we go here. It's also got the configurations for the podcast. So it's like, here's what the podcast is called. And so it knows how to find the latest episode. It's also got the UI selectors, so it knows how to use and navigate ManyChat, and it just did this by doing it once and then updated its own skill. And then the funnel log. So this, it keeps track for me of what funnels I have created with it, including the links and stuff. So we know if I'm recreating one that I've already done, or, I picked a trigger word that I've already done as well. Okay, so first thing we need to do, if you haven't got it installed already, is to install the Playwright MCP. And so we just want to go over to GitHub here. And this is a tool that developers used to use or still use for testing, like their websites or forms or whatever. And so we can just grab this and say to Claude, if I jump back in this chat, hey Claude, and you install this MCP, and then drop that link in, and it will go and do that. I've already got it installed, so it's going to flag that. So that's what you will need to do. And I've just stopped it here so it doesn't try and reinstall it for me. And then once that's installed, we want to basically hand off this workflow to our AI agent. And so we just want to describe what it should do. So let's do that now. Hey Claude, I want to automate my ManyChat funnel generation with Playwright MCP that's installed. And again, the best results we get from using AI agents is the way that we are able to delegate out. So also, I should say, before you do this, put it into plan mode, and you just do that by hitting Shift Tab. And that just makes Claude plan stuff out, and then we'll present a plan to you. So we want to describe this. So I've got my template set up here, and I'm just going to move this one out actually. So I will update that on my own. So I'm just going to say we have this lead magnet template that it will need to duplicate. So I want you to log into my ManyChat. There is an automation template called lead magnet template, and I want you to update that with a new trigger word. I will tell you the trigger word. If I forget to tell you the trigger word, can you ask me before you do anything? Also, I will drop in the link to whatever it is that I will provide as the lead magnet, and you will need to update the buttons with text as well that corresponds with that lead magnet, and also the D will need to the text will need to change depending on the type of lead magnet it is. And you can leave the opening D. You can leave the comments the same. They don't need to change every time, but that opening DM will be varied depending on what the lead magnet I'm providing is. So it might be like, hey, do you want to get the Claude Code starter guide? Something like that. I also want you to keep a record of all of the ManyChat triggers that we create, including the keywords and also the URLs, things like that. And then we just hit enter, and it will help plan this out for you. And so you can see it's like, hey, you've already got one set up. So what I will tell it to do is update when I don't want the new trigger word saved in that template folder, so we can update this skill. So you'll see how I do that. But that's literally all you have to do. And then Claude will present the plan to you and you can review it and then say, okay, yes, no, change this, accept the plan. So let's give it feedback on the changes that I want to make. Sorry about that. I actually just want you to change in the workflow that there is, when you save a new funnel in the, I don't want it in the template folder. I want it moved out just into the general folder. I only want the template in the template folder. So it's going to read the current skill now and work out where it needs to insert that into the workflow. And so what it's done here is it's opened up the skill file again. And so you can see that none of this has changed over here. And then when you're working in Claude Code, so it like shows you what it's doing. So that red means that it's going to delete that line. And in place of it is this green. So it's like, hey, here are the changes I'm going to make to this skill. So instead of it just being renamed flow, it's going to say move flow out of template folder. Click the 3 dots, move to, like it's telling itself how to do that. So we'll just say, yes, accept this. And so now it's saying, hey, I've got to actually adjust the numbers in this workflow. So let me also do that too. So here is red. So that was the old number system. And here is green, the new one. And so now let's run this. So let's go over to my YouTube and we'll grab one of the episodes. So let's do this Claude Cowork plugin and skills one. So I'm going to grab this URL. Then we're going to jump back in here and we're going to say / ManyChat and then paste that. Let's think of a fun trigger word. Go plug, because it talks about plugins in there. And so you can see here now it's like, okay, I'm going to read the voice guide. And look, to be honest, you could have the DMs general, like just kind of general, so that you could make it even easier and faster for Claude Code. And all it would need to change is the button links for you. There's so many ways that you can do this. All right, so it's like, here's the keyword, here's the resource URL, plug isn't used, we're good. Before I write the copy, a couple of things. Yeah, so I will just give this to it. Content type. It's a YouTube resource. Yep. Okay, and now what I've got mine set up to do is present me with a couple of options for the DM. As I said, you could just have this general, like, hey, do you want this free resource? Yes, please. In fact, I probably will change mine to be like this because like I don't need to check this every time. It just needs to update the trigger word for me. And it also just needs to update the link. Really, this is probably overkill. But for the purpose of this, we will say option 2 and the link DM. And let's go option 2 as well. And option 1. What's better automatically now? I don't know why it's like giving me a little wave, hurrying me up. But anyways, that's new. All right, so it was just looping there. So I just had to stop it and then just paste it in. So now we can see it is getting started. So I will need to log into ManyChat for it and then hand back over control. So let me do that. Okay, and I've logged in, but I'm just going to show you this. So this is like, it is looping me here, and it's only when I stop it and then reprompt it, it's coming back. So let's just troubleshoot this together, because this is what happens in real life, right? Okay, so I have a stop hook now created, which basically is a quality gate to make sure that any changes get added to its memory. But because this is kind of an ad hoc project, I think it's just getting stuck in a loop because there is no memory. I'm just using Claude Code at the moment, like a chatbot. So it's checked, I'm logged in. So let's watch it navigate now. So it's on the automations page, and like, so it's walking me through there. When I normally do this, when I'm creating content, I will just have this running on my other monitor, and like I'm doing something else, maybe recording some more videos while it does this, so that I don't have to. And another learning here, so I could see that it said the screenshot here was large, and I was like, well, do we need to screenshot every time? And it's like, no, we don't. It's how it sees what it's doing. So you can see here it's navigating, and let's see it. And so you can see here now it's navigated to the template folder, and it's going to duplicate this template. And so this isn't super fast by any means. But as I said, it saves me from having to do these. And when I'm filming multiple pieces of content with new trigger words, it's just off doing this so that I don't have to, and I'm doing something else, doing other things. And that's the whole point of AI and automations like this. Like, yeah, you might be able to do it faster, like one-to-one. As soon as this is like multiple ManyChat automations at once, or we can just get it to do this stuff so we don't have to. We can be, filming more content, writing an email, whatever it is, while our AI agents are working for us. So it's made this copy here. So you can see here, it's updating the button, and it's going to switch out the URL here too. And so now it's previewing it just to make sure it looks okay, and then it will go live. So now it's live, and now next time I create a piece of content about that YouTube video and I say in the caption, drop the word plug, it will trigger this automation. And so I can be literally doing anything else while Claude Code is creating all of these ManyChat automations for me, because that was something that I hated doing. And in the past, for my podcast, instead of having every individual episode linked, I just had a generic AI girl automation, whereas now when people comment like episode 22, they get a link to that episode, and I don't have to be manually doing that. Now, if this far, you're obviously someone who is serious about building automations and using AI to scale their business. And if that's you, you can join my school community with over 120 women who are using AI to build systems, not watch content and then not do anything with it, actually building. I'll drop the link to the school community below, and I will see you on the next video. And make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any update.